Hi everyone on Facebook. Hi Instagram. Kim Leskovic here. Welcome to our Happy Highest You livecast. I'm your host, Kim, and I'm an essential oil educator, yoga teacher, empowerer of all things wellness. I'm really passionate about helping people find wellness tools such as essential oils, movement, yoga, meditation, spiritual tools such as angel cards, just ways they can really dive into their wellness and spirituality and feel empowered to do so through their use of these tools. Hi, Andy. I see you jumping on here. So yeah, tonight I'm going to be talking all about our second chakra in the chakra system. Last week we covered our root chakra, which is located at the base of our spine. And tonight we're going to be talking about our sacral chakra. So this chakra is located just below our navel and is considered to be the chakra near our sex organs, dealing with all things in that area. So yeah, if you just place your hand like below your belly button, it's just right over that area. And tonight I'm going to be talking about ways to kind of activate that chakra, what some blocks within that chakra might look like. For those of you that are new to the chakra system and have not watched the root chakra video yet, our chakras are energy centers within our body. There are 7 main ones, and then extensions from there on out. But so they start at the base of the spine and go all the way to the top of your head. So tonight, like I said, we're going to be working on the second one. And the sacral chakra has all to do with like the color orange. I'll go into a few ways to kind of activate that, but it also has a lot to do with where your joy, your creativity, your desires, as well as a lot of your emotional emotions are stored, and a lot of like where you can store like past traumas or even just emotions that are just building up within like your hip areas. So this one, we talked a little bit about like the root chakra and how it has a lot to do with the statement I am. So the sacral chakra has a lot to do with, or is, the statement I feel. So again, associating that energy center with feeling and emotion, and really addressing like what we're feeling in our life, whether that be joy or whether that feel pain, and kind of knowing how to work with that and understand our emotions. So the reason I'm so passionate about these chakras in the chakra system is because in the fall of 2016, I ended up taking a Zen Babe chakra cleanse where I dove deep into like journal work, yoga, meditation, essential oils, and really learned a lot about these. So I'm actually certified in like the chakra system with that certificate of going through that course. But it also just opened my toolbox of ways that I can kind of shift my energy and find what feels good. So I also follow Yoga with Adriene, and that's like her little slogan if you love in-home yoga. Definitely check Yoga with Adriene out. She's wonderful. And so that whole saying of find what feels good definitely has a lot to do with our chakras. And she does a little chakra series with exercises that you can really activate that energy center, and really, you don't necessarily even have to know what the block is, but just by working through that chakra and working with these tools that I'm going to be mentioning can really help in like clearing that stuck energy. A lot of times our bodies and our minds know what to do as long as we provide it with those tools of support. And so I mentioned it's the color orange. So I have like my orange pen here. I'm diffusing wild orange essential oil. I'm also going to share with you a little bit about crystals, but if you can tell, this one actually has some orange on it as well. I'll just kind of dive into the crystals for your sacral right now because I just searched top 5. As I said in the root chakra video, I am new to crystals. I'm an essential oil like expert, I like to say. People call me the oil queen, but I do know more about essential oils than crystals. But it's another one of my passions and one that I truly do believe in. If you're looking to kind of heal yourself energetically, I think Reiki super powerful. I believe in crystals. I believe in we are energy, so how we work with ourselves and kind of shifting that energy, like it's just super powerful, and understanding what these tools can kind of do for us energetically. And so this one is actually citrine. I believe it's a type of citrine. And then also orange carnelian. So I think I mentioned carnelian in the root chakra video. But specifically orange carnelian is really great for the sacral chakra. So our second chakra. Hi, Mom. Hi, Rachel. Yay, shout out to Rachel. She just got certified in her Reiki training. If you're in the Iowa City, Coralville area, give her a message. Yeah, Mom, you do love the color orange and yellow. That's so interesting. We'll be talking about yellow and the solar plexus next week, so stay tuned. But yeah, I love like wearing crystals. I might have mentioned this in the last video, but I really love wearing them. Like today, this one has a lot to do with, this crystal specifically has a lot to do with abundance. And so does the essential oil of wild orange. Like they are both for abundance, so you can relate that to the sacral of feeling joy, feeling abundant in life, feeling what life has to offer you, and that there's like so much more if we can just get outside of these limiting beliefs and these distorted stories we keep telling ourselves that aren't true. But yeah, wearing I definitely felt like a lot of abundance and a lot of gratitude. And I saw the number 444, which has a lot to do with abundance as well. So I definitely love wearing them and kind of just like holding them as like a comfort thing, but also wearing essential oils, diffusing that wild orange. Another great essential oil that I really love is our Passion Inspiring Blend. As you can tell, in order to kind of understand what it is you desire and what your passions are, which when I started this journey, I had no idea. Well, I kind of had to dig deeper into what my passions and what my desires were. I probably knew deep down, but they weren't at a surface level that I could understand and that I felt really confident in yet. And so this passion blend had really helped me to be open, like walking around outside. I remember I was like still job searching, and I would apply this blend and kind of just walk outside for inspiration and kind of just to feel joyful. I remember having some rough days at work here and there, and just applying this before I like went inside the door or like got home. And it really just like lightens the mood, inspires you, and really just helps you to see that joy and passion within each moment. So if you're feeling a little, we can talk a little bit about the blockages, but as well as the color orange. Another thing you can do if you like to meditate, I just learned this in a podcast I was listening to on my drive to like the Ozarks last weekend. You can imagine, like if you have a hard time seeing the visual of orange or any color in meditation, it can kind of be a reference that that area might be blocked because you don't remember the color. You might have a hard time like visioning it. So if you can imagine or even put in your home like orange flowers, like fresh flowers, or a bowl of like fresh fruit, like oranges, that's kind of a good way to kind of incorporate you like looking at the color orange more often. Writing with an orange pen, painting your nails. I know orange isn't the most lovely color for nails, but you never know. Maybe just not for me. But also another big one is water. So I'll kind of get into this too, but another big thing to activate that pleasure and that passion in life and just feeling really good is to take a bath and just to surround yourself with water. I feel like we love seeing like, I don't know about you, but I love like being surrounded by like water, whether it be a lake, an ocean, waterfalls, like hearing that noise, or like we even just love drinking water as often as we forget, but it really does support us and it really helps us to feel that connection with life and just feel really relaxed. a lot of times, like I walked past 2 waterfalls today on my walk while nannying too. It was just so weird how much, maybe I'm just being more aware of it with my sacral chakra talk tonight, but it was just so funny. Yeah, there was like 2 waterfalls on my walk. So just really like noticing those things on your walk and being more in tune. And what I love to do with like baths too, I mentioned passion. That one has cinnamon in it, so it can tend to be a little bit more sensitive to the skin and hot water. So you can definitely use wild orange and maybe like a more feminine oil to kind of, you can definitely try passion. I just know with my skin, cinnamon can be a little sensitive. So I save that one for like topically or diffusing. But I do recommend like taking a bath with oils just to intensify that like pleasure, that relief, that relaxation, and kind of bringing you to that present moment of, wow, this smells really good. This water feels really good. And what I love about baths is you can kind of be creative with it. And that also has to do with our sacral chakra. It's all about creativity and being one with that like fun and playful nature that we all have within us, where we might have lost at some point growing up. I listened to like that podcast I was talking about. It talked about how we, in school, we learned to sit still all day. And I think somewhere along the lines, we kind of forgot how to allow learning and allow education and allow just life in general to be really fun and enjoyable. But when that's off, your other chakras, like all the way up, and even your root can become unbalanced. And I know I mentioned this in my last live cast, but the chakras aren't like a one-time healing thing. You constantly have to check in and tune in with your body and how you're feeling emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. But what's cool is that you can check in and balance them every day and kind of tune in and kind of know what steps to take within your daily activities to rebalance those chakras. And so I mentioned creativity. So again, with the baths, I think it's really cool that you can either like take a bath and put on or like use essential oils, be creative with which ones you choose. You could use your crystals around your bath. I've seen a lot of people do that too. You can just create a really divine, sacred space for your bath time. But then also, like, what do you do while you're in the bath? Like I just mentioned on another live that I like to soak in a bath for 20 to 30 minutes with Epsom salt, essential oils, sometimes baking soda to like draw in those oils and Epsom salt into my body. But yeah, so how do you like to sit within those 20 to 30 minutes? Do you like to just reflect and sit in silence? Do you like to, like, what's joyful to you is basically what I'm getting at here. Is watching Netflix, does that like bring you joy, and is that easy? Is that fun? I've done a lot of mixture of things within the bath, but those are a couple that I just really love too. Listening to music, creating, like being creative and making like a bath playlist would be really fun too. But I used to be someone that did not think I was creative because for some reason I defined creativity within just like the marketing, business, design aspect of life within school. And so I really had a hard time before the chakra cleanse believing that I was creative and seeing, but then I look back and like see my art, like my classes in art, and really enjoying the ceramics and painting and all those things. And so I knew I kind of had that creative desire to just like be crafty and DIY and make my own recipes. So it's just a matter of like finding your own passion and your own way of creativity and your own way of fun. And I think as an entrepreneur, soulpreneurs, if you're watching, if you have your own business or you're just kind of feeling stuck in your work in general, writers, I know my mom's watching, she's working on some writing right now. If you're feeling like creatively blocked, I know I was taught a lot when I first started out on this journey to start with my why, because that why is going to pull you on those hard days, and it's going to remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. But I also just recently learned, I think that play almost comes before the why and purpose, because I think if you can't have fun like along the way and following that purpose and finding what feels good, then it's really hard. Like that why, you can believe in it and you can have it and you can feel so well. That's the other thing too, I guess. You like play should come first, and then feeling the why should come before like the other stuff, or before like the visualization of stuff, because I think we have to really focus on what that why and what that purpose of what we're doing in life feels like, in order to know the feelings and desires we want at the end, and in order to bring those feelings into our life sooner rather than later or never. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. But just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Another way, I mentioned crystals, essential oils, meditation with the colors, as well as water and baths. But I also, like I said, I'm a yoga teacher, just recently certified in 200 hours. And I found movement to be so helpful, especially emotionally, and being on my yoga mat and being with myself and working through those tough times, but also surrendering and letting it be what it is, letting it be fun and feeling what's really going on. Those are some huge lessons that I've learned with yoga. And when I first took the chakra cleanse was my first actual mat breakdown. And so for those of you that don't actually know what a mat breakdown is, it's when you literally just like release those stored emotions that are, usually it happens in a hip posture, where we're really like unblocking those emotions and releasing that tension and reminding ourselves to let go and to be with however we're feeling and to let it come up and surface. So I was warned that this might happen, but I didn't think it was going to happen to me. And I remember I was like laying on the mat, and I was during the chakra cleanse, and I felt this sense of home and this safety. And it's funny, when both things happened, or both times these mat breakdowns happened, it was a sense of like joyful tears and joy, and that I was coming home, and that I was feeling what I truly desired, and that it was here in this moment. And so, yeah, my first one was that I was just in my soul discovery. I was doing the work. I was feeling at home. I was feeling connected with people, with myself, with my passions. I finally discovered kind of what those were. But then my second time was at yoga teacher training, and it was like our last day of the second week. We were done. We were so much more connected than our first day and come so far. And I remember I was holding on to whatever it was I came in with, stress of work, stress of relationships, stress of family. And I remember I was just holding on to that and kind of going through the motions of teacher training. And by the end of it, once I like let go of everything I had to do, my to-do list, I let go of expectations I had for myself after the training. Once I let go of that, it just released this emotion of excitement and enlightenment, and just knowing that I was in the space that I was supposed to be in, that I was with the people that I was meant to meet, and it was just a really, really cool experience. And I think that's part of the sacral work, is that we need to bring those emotions up. We need to bring those stored traumas up, and we need to surrender them, whether that be to a higher power, whether that means kind of like feel through them, allow ourselves to cry. Maybe we never even cried about this before, and it's coming up on our mat, or it's coming up in meditation. And just the power of sitting with those emotions and allowing themselves to be there, but then also having these tools such as essential oils and bath and movement to kind of shift that energy into a new, higher, positive vibration, and kind of allow ourselves to heal through new actions and new beliefs and just new ways of being, and allowing ourselves to set a new story for ourselves and new desires. So yeah, I think that's a lot of what I got. think I touched on mainly the blocks. So a weak sacral chakra, you might be feeling fear of change, aka in yoga teacher training, when I was fearing what would happen after, or feeling that it was going to end soon. You might feel hard like the earth instead of flowing like the water. So a lot of times this could mean like you just feel hard in your personality, you're closed off, you're not connecting with people, you're not allowing yourself to have fun in your relationships or sexually, and you're just kind of rigid in your sexuality in general too. Like you don't want to try new things. And a lot of the sacral chakra can also have to do with the emotion of guilt. So maybe you feel guilty for whatever reason, for having these desires or having these pleasurable feelings or experiences. And that can really take a toll on blocking the chakra. And so you might also feel tightness in your muscles from holding on, from clenching. And so it's interesting. I'm going to have to dive into that a little bit deeper because I've had some like TMJ, like tension in my jaw. So I'm working through a lot of the chakras now, and I'm just curious to see what pops up for like sore muscles and tight hips and stuff like that. But an excessive sacral chakra can mean that you are overly emotional. So maybe you're ruled by your own like roller coaster of emotions, and they're just out of control and you don't know how to handle them. You're in constant need for pleasure. That might be sexual, or you're just like having way too much fun all the time and not having a good balance of like purpose and creativity. And then, so I wrote down like partying or social interaction. So you might just kind of, life's too short, let's just have fun all the time, but then you aren't seeing like the purpose and the mission and the vision of your work. And then I kind of wanted to share with you a couple different things that I wrote down a while back of just top 10 things that bring me pleasure. But if you're interested in kind of working with the chakra, I encourage you to grab your journal or journal tonight, just like the top 10 things that just really light you up or that bring you joy. And they can be so simple. Like I wrote down like a good cup of coffee, baths, snuggling my dog, reading my books, watching a show with my boyfriend, long talks with Andy or anyone. Like I just really enjoy like long, deep conversation and quality time. And being intimate, going out in nature and catching up with friends. So those are just a couple examples if you're having like a hard time kind of thinking about what's fun, or you're just kind of feeling like, I don't know, like you have to like spend money, or during this time, like I said, I was in between jobs and kind of using that as an excuse of where I could have joy in my life and playing the victim. And so then I encourage you to kind of also dive into like what you desire in life. What are your dreams? And allow yourself to dream, get creative, and allow yourself to have fun with it. Like creating a vision board and pinning stuff on Pinterest, or just writing new stories for yourself is so fun. And it just makes you feel so much lighter. So I wrote down tension too. Like physically you can have tension in your body, but I think also like sexually you can have like that tension, or you're just getting involved sexually for the wrong reasons. And it's just more of like I have to do this, or I'm doing it for other reasons other than to make me happy and to make me joyful. And it's because of what I love and it feels good. I think kind of checking in and seeing where you are at with that, and kind of seeing where you can tune in and love on yourself more. I think that's all I got. Do you guys have any questions on the sacral chakra so far? That's just a brief, I know it was kind of longer, but it's basically it. So like, again, with that movement of bringing pleasure, I know a lot of people like move like to music and move their bodies and move their hips. If you can like move your hips to like certain songs and really get into that sacral chakra zone, it will be really helpful in kind of releasing that blocked energy. And then just being fully conscious. I just like to think of this as mindfulness, whether that be with your food, like really enjoying and being mindful of how your food is and how it makes you feel can be really helpful too. With the sacral, like feeling what that feels like in your body, what it feels like as you're chewing it, as well as like yoga, like how is everything feeling, whether that be your emotions or whether that be like certain postures in your body. And then, yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. It's a very intimate, true, deep, like chakra, I like to think of it. Those are just a couple words that that I like to think of this one as. So I wrote down creativity, your desires, your play, and your emotions. That's how you can kind of associate the chakra. But yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, I'll keep this one under 30 minutes so people can either watch it on their drives or catch the replay, however this works. But I know I kind of just like catching up on these like out in a walk in nature. Like I just love hearing people like vibe on like stuff I'm interested in and just reaching out to like-minded people and connecting that way and just having fun with like my walks and my commute to work. So podcasts, these live casts, obviously don't watch it if you're driving, but I usually just use like the Bluetooth in my car, or you can just like have your phone playing. But yeah, don't watch the video if you're driving, just listen to it. I won't be offended if you don't watch my face. But yeah, I personally like have fun with live video. I know like podcasts are super big, but I really love like having a visual and feeling like you're really having a conversation with people and commenting and seeing the heart, seeing the interaction. So that's kind of why I chose this platform, because it is fun for me and it's creative. You can kind of, you can jump on whenever you want and go live, and yeah, so it's really allowing me to work with my sacral chakra as well. So thanks so much for joining, guys. Rachel says, me too. I love downloading to my mind on commutes. I'm out on a walk right now. Oh, lovely. You inspire me to go on more nature walks with your Instagrams. Okay, I loved having you guys on tonight. Thank you so much for joining Happy Highest You live cast. I will be on next Tuesday for our third chakra, our solar plexus chakra, and I can't wait for you guys to learn a little bit more about taking action, your confidence, and I won't go too much into it, but yeah, thanks for joining, and I hope you guys all have a beautiful rest of your week.